Hello, everyone. This is Monsef Afqar, and thank you so much for joining us in this new call of Your Divine Uniqueness. Happy again to connect with you live or on replay. And also really excited that Dipal Shah is back on the show. I think it's been a couple of years that she joined
Yes,
us
it
the last
has.
time. Yeah, and
It's so great to be back.
yeah, very happy to have you back. And yeah, the time really flies, but yeah, really happy that we could make it and that you are joining us today again on the show. And yeah, so the last we had, I think, three calls with her before on the show, and every time it was really powerful. We experienced powerful healing, and also the guidance. It was very inspiring. So we always had really amazing experience with her, and very excited that she's back. And for those of you who are new to her, she is a medical intuitive and mindset expert, award-winning international best-selling author, and quantum body awakening. She facilitates quantum body awakening, and the subject today is about the healer archetypes. So it's discover your archetype and break through health barriers. So yeah, she will be sharing about that. She will be sharing about the keys for us to heal, like for to enhance our health, and also she will guide us on a powerful process that she will facilitate later on the call, that can really help us to connect with our archetype energy. So yeah, it will be exciting and powerful, and also we'll have a Q&A. So as always, if you want to ask Dipal your questions, you can raise your hand on Zoom by pressing reactions, then raise hand. If you want to raise your hand on your phone, you can press *9. And also you can type your questions on the chat boxes on Zoom and on YouTube. And yeah, so with that, Dipal, welcome back to the show. Happy to have you with
Thank you
us.
so much. Thank you so much, Mansaf. It's so wonderful to be here. Annette already put in the chat, hello, everyone. Let's get the party started. I love the energy already, so thank you.
Wonderful. Yeah, really happy about the call today. And so yeah, part of our audience maybe are not aware of your story and your work. So I would love if we can start with that.
Yeah, thank you. People, I know we're all tuning in from different places, right? And it reminds me that while we are all spread across the globe, so many of us share a similar experience, right? Imagine having a label that reads walking medical mystery describes your journey, and you could put it in the chat because we've all had these experiences. The truth is, more people leave the doctor's office feeling more confused than when you went in. In fact, you're part of 523 million people worldwide and 129 million Americans dealing with chronic conditions that traditional medicine struggles to solve. And I know this journey intimately, both professionally and personally. Like several years ago, I remember in my early 30s, I went rushing into the doctor's office, and I'm sitting there in the exam room. The doctor walks in and he asks me what's going on. So I started sharing with him all of my symptoms and telling him, listen, doctor, I've got this horrible pain going on right here. And I'm pointing to my belly, right? I've got this horrible pain right here. It hurts so bad. I'm crunched over and the pain is excruciating. I don't know what to do. I've tried taking some Gas-X, some Beano. I've tried taking, drinking more water, changing my diet, eating more organic, and nothing seems to help. This pain does not go away. It lasts for about 45 minutes. And I just have to breathe through it. There's nothing else that I could do. And I thought he was listening. He looks at me and he says immediately, "You need surgery." And I was like, "What?" That didn't even cross my mind. I sat there and I thought to myself, I don't think I want my organ taken out. And so I was confused. I asked him, I was like, aren't there any tests that we could run at least before we take my organ out? And he said, Dipal, I've done a ton of these procedures. It's a quick in and out, same day. You don't even have to stay at the hospital and you'll be pain-free. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, that pain-free part sounds really good. But I tried to tell him all these other things I was feeling, but he didn't even want to listen. He gave me this piece of paper to schedule my surgery. He got up and he left. And I questioned, I was like, what the heck just happened? And that night I tossed and turned and I kept thinking about the conversation. And as a pharmaceutical rep, I've been exposed to the medical world for decades, so I know exactly what he was doing. I can't even be mad at him because he was only doing what he was taught. But the frustrating part was that I know there's another way. So I decided if the medical industry was not going to help me, I was just going to help myself. And that's what I did for days. I made Google my best friend. And I researched and mapped out everything that I was learning, why I could possibly be feeling the way I was feeling. I read books, I watched YouTube videos, and then I started taking courses. And in the beginning, all the information that I was learning felt a little woo-woo. And in my mind, I was like, Dipal, is this for real? Like, should I really keep digging into this? Do I really believe this? Is it possible? Because all the information I was finding was running through my head as I read testimonials after testimonials of other people just like me finding healing for the first time in years. And so I decided to keep going deeper. What do I have to lose at this point anyway, right? The medical world has failed me. I wasn't going to fail myself. And everything that I was finding funneled down to one main thing, and that was energy. And I started applying some of the tools in my life a little bit at first. Like I would look in the mirror and I would tell myself, I love you. And then I started doing meditation, 10 to 20 minutes. I started to cook for myself and started adding herbs and spices that would support my body. And then I started incorporating yoga, a little bit at first because I really thought it was so slow. I'm like, oh, this is not a workout. Well, duh, it's not supposed to be. And then just setting like intentions and having this attitude of gratitude, before I went to bed. And the craziest thing started to happen. I started feeling better. And at first I was like, what the heck is going on? Because did I take something? What did I do? Because I love it. But it was so natural and light that I started getting better and feeling better about my life. And everything about me began to change, including my thought process, my emotions, my aspirations, my health, my purpose. And even the people around me, like my husband noticed, Dipal, you have changed. And it was like this moment where he was so proud of me because he knew I was doing it for me. And he's seen what I had been through, all the trauma that I had been through. And even my friends were like, where's Dipal? What'd you do with her? I'm like, I'm still right here. But I felt like this part of me that was just so alive. You know what I mean, Mansaf? And I know people who are listening, can resonate with this because, there's parts of you that do feel that way. And maybe you're waiting for that completion, that where you're fully in, and you're at this massive high vibrational energy, and you're manifesting things, and you're living in your purpose. Because a lot of times through life we keep asking, what is my purpose, what is my purpose? And I got tired of asking that, but through my health problem I came in connection with that. And I believe any body can heal. And for nearly a decade I've helped over 6,000 clients and performed more than 14,000 healings in 90 different countries across the world to help people heal their bodies and start living again. And so during our time together here on this summit, you're going to learn that transformative power of healing your body. So thank you for asking, Mansa.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing about your story, because it's very inspiring, and also I won't say hope, it gives hope, but it reminds us of our true power of healing, because how society is made, like we don't believe in that, but hearing stories like yours and others can really remind us of our true power. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And also you are talking about like the keys, different keys, maybe two keys in order to heal our body. So I would love if we can start with the first one.
Yeah, so there are two keys in order to heal the body. The first key that you need to know is using your body's own energy language to heal. See, let's do something powerful together right now. I want you to experience this firsthand, how your body communicates with you. So find a comfortable position, and if you feel safe to do so, close your eyes. If not, just soften your gaze, okay? And take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. And again, in through your nose, out through your nose. And place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Feel the rhythm of your breathing. Notice where there's tension, where there's ease. Observe without trying to change anything. And as you breathe, imagine your breath moving like a gentle wave between your heart and your belly. With each breath, you're speaking your body's language. Now, keeping your hands in place, I want you to think of a recent moment when you felt overwhelmed or stressed. Notice what happens in your body. Does your breathing change? Do you feel tension anywhere? What are you noticing in your body right now? And open your eyes. And you can put in the chat exactly what you experienced, because I'd like to see what you've experienced. Dipal, I want to do what you're doing because you're so vibrant and alive. Okay. Annette, I love you. Jennifer, faster breathing. Interesting. Yeah, yes, started panting, fast breaths. Interesting what's happening to your breathing, right? When you feel that tension and stress that you're still holding on to, right? What you just experienced is your body's energy language in action. Okay. 70 to 90% of doctors' visits are stress related. Your body holds these stress patterns, creating what I call energy traffic jams. And these traffic jams show up as unexplained fatigue, digestive issues, sleep problems, anxiety, chronic pain. Anybody have any of those? Right? Raise your hand if you've got any of those. Well, don't raise your hand like on the thing down there, but raise your hand, like just put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. If you've got any of those going on, chronic pain, digestive issues, sleep issues, whatever you've got, go ahead and put it in the chat because I want to know. And they're all stress related. You know, yeah, Jennifer says yes, most of these, yes. Pippa says yes. Renata says most of these. I know. And this reminds me, you know, of my client, one of my clients, Michelle, that I had worked with a couple of years ago, about 6 years ago. She was a flight attendant who had come to me and she was completely exhausted. Okay. And she had tried everything from doctor's visits to other methods of healing, to changing her diet, taking supplements, and even switching to organic clothing. Okay. Not only organic products, but also organic clothing as well, because she was having some skin issues going on that nobody could figure out what was going on with her. And nothing worked. During our first session, I helped her discover something that was life-changing. She was absorbing everyone's energy, from the coworkers to passengers to the strangers. And I did a simple exercise with her, and she felt better immediately. She understood why she was feeling so depleted. And once we identified her unique energy pattern, everything changed. We all have unique energy patterns. And within weeks, Michelle wasn't just feeling better. She reclaimed her energy and she reclaimed her life, and she was thriving. She learned to protect her energy. And for the first time in years, she wasn't so depleted. Everything changed for Michelle. I'm telling you, for Michelle, she left her job, okay, as a flight attendant. She immediately quit because then she enrolled in my 6-month medical intuitive course. And then now she's doing craniosacral therapy and helping other people heal. And she is completely booked all the time. And so here's what's crucial about Michelle's story. Her healing didn't come from another supplement or diet change. It came from understanding her unique energy type, what I call her healer archetype. And that was the key to her healing and changing her entire life, where she thought she should be a flight attendant. And that's what she was fulfilling for so long. And she was fighting it, you know, and trying to make amends with her body to try to, you know, to try to keep going. But her energy was like, no, Michelle, it's time to make a change. And when she started listening to her body, everything unfolded for her beautifully. Her life came together, and you can have that too. You can reclaim your life. You can reclaim your power. It's tuning into your unique healer archetype.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dipal, for the process and also like what you shared after that. And you started talking about the archetype. And I would love if you can maybe tell us more about that and what are they in general.
Well, I'd like to share the second key first, okay? Because I know I said I have two keys. Yes. I have two keys. So let me share the second key, okay? And then I'll share a little bit more about that, okay? The second key that you need to know to heal your body is now when it comes to healing the body, every one of us has had health issues, emotional issues, mental, physical issues, right? And a lot of times doctors aren't going to be able to solve it. We don't know the answers ourselves. But what I want to tell you is that you have the power to heal. See, we all move through life with this inner blueprint, and that's your healer archetype, which I had just mentioned. And it's your core nature of how you respond to life, how you respond to challenges, relationships, and even healing. And through my work with thousands of clients, I've identified 5 distinct healer archetypes. Each one has its own unique strengths, specific challenges, and most importantly, their own path to healing. Okay. And so, as Mansef said, yeah, let me introduce you to them. All right. And I want you to recognize like which one you are. Okay. Because each of these archetypes, you have the elements of all 5 of them. Okay. But you will find that you actually will have a primary one. Okay. There's the intuitive, the empathic nurturer, the mindful sage, the warrior, the visionary. Those are 5 archetypes. And each one of them comes with its own strengths and weaknesses and healing needs. And when you dive into that, that's when you start healing. So let's say, like for the intuitive, okay, you're highly sensitive and you naturally pick up information about people and situations, right? Your challenge, though, you often absorb others' energies and you struggle with staying grounded. And see, my daughter is the intuitive. She's really funny. All right. She's 17 years old and she is so caring and she has a knowing and she struggles. She's like a deer in headlights. It's like, hello, is anybody in there? You know, I'm like, are you listening? And then, you know, it's like she snaps out of it, right? And that's her intuitive archetype playing a role. And then I have a daughter that's a completely different spectrum. As you know, if you guys have kids, it's, you know, or if you have nieces, nephews, or if you have siblings, you know that even though they come out of the same person, it's like they're different people. They have their own strengths and weaknesses, you know? And so my older one, she's a leader. She's a go-getter. She's focused. And, you know, she is, her struggle or weakness, as we could call it, is more like she gets restless and she seeks for perfection. And that's her warrior, like really coming out, right? It's her warrior saying, hey, you know, this is me. And it's beautiful. See, when we as parents or advisors or whatever we do, when we communicate with other people, we're always advising other people, you know, but we can help them knowing our own archetype. We can help other people tune into their energy patterns, recognize where they're imbalanced and help balance them when they feel stuck, because we're doing that all the time. So let me ask you a question, okay? I'm going to ask you guys a question. How many of you, and I just want you to put yes in the chat, how many of you feel other people's emotions? Just put yes in the chat. I want to see how many of you feel other people's emotions. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. All right. How many of you have neck and shoulder, like you hold tension in your neck and shoulders? Just put yes, 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 yes. Okay, great. How many of you feel that that you give more than what you receive? Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. So, see, what I'm trying to say is that your archetype is the nurturer. And as a nurturer, we forget to nurture ourselves, you know? And we are so expanded. I used to be a nurturer, and I'm not that I'm not. It plays a supporting role for me now. Okay, because I had to learn to set boundaries. And maybe that's something that you struggle with as well, right? But what you want to do is maybe every day at 3 p.m., you want to set your alarm and you want to just put it out there. Did I take care of myself today? Did I show myself compassion and love and kindness? And if you didn't, guess what? You need to do some soul nurturing techniques. That's what I teach my clients. Do some soul nurturing techniques that help support you to reduce the stress, the worry, the anxiety, the fight, flight, freeze mode. Do some a specific pranic breathing technique, that is specific for your body. And what that will do is help keep you balanced and give you momentum. Create a life list. A life list is what I have all of my clients do, because that is a reflection of who you are and how you want to live your best life. I mean, nobody's the same anymore, right? Over the decades, we have changed. What I was 10 years ago is not me now. I mean, I'm almost 50 years old. This year I'll be 50. And in my 30s and 40s, this was not me, right? I've changed. So you have changed as well. And you have dreams and aspirations. And you have to stop running away from who you are and start living your best life. And how do you do that? You have to know your healer archetype, because that's where it all starts, because that helps you move faster. That's what I want for you, is to speed things up. You've been doing it too slow for too long. Your healer archetype is an important piece of your healing. And until you know what it is, you're going to be stuck in the same hamster wheel. You're going to be in the same thing, telling yourself the same story and asking yourself, why am I not healing? I thought I healed this. Oh, why am I taking 2 steps forward and 10 steps back? Does that resonate with you guys? Like, is this happening in your world, in your mind? Because people might tell you, oh, you're too emotional, you're too sensitive, you're overthinking, you're impractical, you're indecisive. But what I'm telling you is that these are your superpowers. They're not your shadows. They're not your flaws. And there's nothing wrong with you. Okay? So your healer archetype is one of the most important missing pieces in your healing journey. And that's why I told Mansef, I said, we have to talk about this. Right now is the time, as more and more people are becoming conscious. We have to bring this to the forefront. So yeah, I love the fact that you all are tuned in and what what we call is, our failures, mistakes, flaws, and, oh, I don't do this right. Or, whatever it is that you're telling yourself, we have to stop doing that. And that's the piece that's missing, is that we have to start seeing these things as our superpowers. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing that, because many times we can find ourselves unconsciously suppressing our own gifts, the gifts that we are here to first embody, share with ourselves, but also share with others. And I love that you mentioned that because it's very important to be aware of that, and also like seeing the importance of bringing them forward, those gifts that we have.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you so much, Deepal. And you mentioned you want to share a process to connect to
Yes.
our archetype. Yeah.
Yes, I would love to. So I shared three archetypes, right? I shared a warrior. You know, those of you who are leaders, like my daughter, like my older one, and you're a go-getter, but yet you're stuck in perfection. For those of you that are warriors, I want you to either stand up or sit tall, shoulders back, embrace your power with softness. Okay, I'm going to guide you through this. So I just want you to do specific things to your archetype. Okay. We have the intuitives, the nurturer, and the warriors. Okay. Remember who they are. Your intuitives. I know you know who you are. you know everything. You're tuned in, but you struggle with grounding and you struggle with protecting your energy. And your nurturers, your givers, okay, you're expanded. And so we're going to work with three archetypes today, okay? Because I talked about that. So we're going to do this powerful exercise. I want you to get comfortable, find a comfortable position, spot, and just relax. Take some nice deep breaths in and out as you close your eyes or bring your gaze down if you don't feel comfortable closing your eyes. And take some nice 3 deep breaths in and out through your nose. Breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. In through your nose and out through your nose. Imagine your energy field like a sphere of light around you. And we're going to activate your unique archetype. Okay? For the intuitives, place your hands at your heart, feeling into your natural sensitivity as a gift. For nurturers, cross your arms across your chest, hugging yourself first before others. The warrior, I want you to stand or sit tall and shoulders back, embrace your power with softness. And breathe into this position for a moment. Feel the wisdom of your archetype. Breathing it in nice and slowly. Breathing in and out your archetype. Now open your eyes and type in the chat what sensations that you felt. What insights did you receive?
And just a question: is it possible to have to feel connected, to have different archetypes at once?
Well, it is, right? We have the elements of all five, like I mentioned, but you're going to have a primary one. So I mentioned, the primary ones that I see most in my clients. Of course, we have the other ones too, but the intuitive and the empathic nurturer and the warrior are some of the most common ones. So I wanted to see what everyone's getting, and that's how I designed this beautiful process to help you unfold and activate your archetype. Okay. And you can also, when I share, Monsef, the program that I have for everyone, you'll discover all of your archetypes at that time, and you'll see how each one of them is playing a role in your life. You might be like, oh, well, I'm not a warrior, or I was a warrior. And you'll see how that is playing a role in your life through this program that we will offer at a later time today. But okay, so
Yeah.
Laura said, I'm not sure what I am, intuitive or nurture. So you just needed to pick one. It doesn't matter at this time. And what's great, Laura, is that you're going to know when you leave from here, you're going to know what your archetype is because you're going to get a chance to take the quiz. Okay. So stay till the end because I do want you to take the quiz, and that is part of the program. Okay. And so this way, there is no confusion. Renata said there is confusion, could not decide which one. Okay, so I see what's happening. All right, so when you come back to this replay, pick one archetype. Okay, I highly recommend you choose one. Just go with one. Whichever one you feel like you are first. Whichever one you feel like, oh, I am always just a giver. Like I said, you're going to have the other ones and the elements of the other ones, and it may be a little difficult to decide, but you know what? Whatever you know with, go with. Because again, you have the answers within you. See, this is what I teach, is that we have the answers within us. Right? Jennifer said, I thought I was a nurturer, but didn't feel anything, got confused that I might be more than one. Okay, so you got in your mind that oh, I have all these other ones too, and you didn't want to leave them out. Okay, so I'm going to clear that energy for everybody because we don't want to leave any of our archetypes out, and whichever one you decided to do is the right one. See, this is where we're listening to our body, listening to the wisdom of ourselves within us. This is how healings happen, when we can tune in. Okay. And so there's simple strategies that I can walk you through. Of course, we don't have enough time, but in our one-on-one sessions, I help you walk through these strategies to really help you reset your health, reset your health, reset your life, and really help you thrive, be in the direction so that you're not indecisive, right? Where you become indecisive, that's your intuitive archetype playing a role, right? You're like, oh, this, right? And it's that intuitive archetype. Okay. So this was a great example of how we are processing information and how we are even guiding our own healing. Right? Are we getting in our way? Are we self-sabotaging our own healing? Right? This simple process that I guided you through, were you self-sabotaging it? And what else do you self-sabotage in your life? And so we have to look at that, because I get it. The self-doubt comes in, right? Or the clarity doesn't come in. So we have to open those up. See, this reminds me of Heather, and she was one of my clients I worked with about a year ago. She was 70 years old, and she discovered that she was a sage archetype. Now, she came to me because all she wanted to do was sing in the choir, okay? Because she was struggling with singing, and her passion was to sing in the choir. She had half of her thyroid taken out. Traditional therapy wasn't working because it couldn't address her archetype tendencies to overthink and disconnect from her body. And once we worked with her sage energy, rather than against it, which is what we tend to do, we tend to tell ourselves, oh no, that's not me. That's not what I believe. But our subconscious is doing something completely opposite. And so for Heather, her voice literally returned. Within 3 sessions, she was singing again. And within 6 months, she performed in a concert. She was so happy. She felt fulfilled. She felt alive. And she felt so grateful. And the key, it wasn't just the physical healing and the clearing, the energetic healing, but it was understanding how her archetype processed energy and information. And when you align with your archetype, healing becomes like natural and normal rather than forced. See, when you awaken your archetype, you awaken a deeper level of self-realization. And that helps you take actions every day with intention rather than reaction. It's your compass for long-term growth. And it's like your most valuable asset. And in order to heal, you have to become conscious of your archetype. That's how you turn your weaknesses into superpowers. And when you know your healer archetype, it allows you to deal with health issues that even if you feel that they're unsolvable from other perspectives, you'll still be able to come to a place of wholeness by addressing them from a place of wholeness. Because health is wholeness. And the key is to identify your archetype. And you can do that with the quiz that's in the program, okay? Now, I want to take you through another layer of your healing at this time. Mansef, do we have time to do that? Is that okay
Yes.
with you?
Yeah, we still have time. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I want you to take a nice deep breath in and a nice breath out, and just close your eyes. And just notice how your body feels right now, how your mind feels. Let's just go ahead and recognize the thoughts. Knowing that it's okay to have these thoughts. And let's do a recognition. Recognition is not just about knowing your archetype, it's about understanding how it influences you. And so recognition, feel into your body right now. Notice how it responds to the words that I say. Okay? Anger, stress, exhaustion, happiness, joy, healing. This is your archetype's language. Next is integration. I want you to imagine your energy field all around you and the prana that's flowing through it. It's your life force energy. Feel it in your body and around you. This is integration. Allow it to flow. Maybe your body wants to move a certain way. And finally, it's time for activation. Take a deep breath in and say to yourself, I activate my healing power now. And allow that to activate. Notice how you feel. Notice what shifted for you. And open your eyes. And notice how you feel now. when you align these 3 keys with your specific archetype, healing becomes so natural. It becomes so fluid, and you're not forcing anything. You're working with your pattern. You're working with your design. Your healer archetype is your design. See, a lot of times we see our flaws as patterns, these patterns, and we need to start seeing them as part of our design. And when you start to see and work with that design, everything changes. Your entire life shifts. Notice how you're feeling at this time.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much, Deepa. And for me, that brought a sense of peace. Which was beautiful to have. So thank you very much for that, for everything you shared. And a reminder to our audience that you can ask your questions by raising your hand by pressing React, then raise hand on Zoom, or by pressing *9 on your phone. And also you can type your question on the chat boxes on Zoom and YouTube. And also you can find the program that Dipal shared a little bit earlier on the link yourdivineuniqueness.com/Dipal, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Dipal, DIPAL. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live events page, later on the replay page. The link also on YouTube video description, and the chat boxes on Zoom and YouTube. And Dipal, would you like maybe, if I'm not sure if you want to share a little bit more about it, or we can move to the questions.
Oh, about the special offer?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
So in special offer, it's really amazing how you can actually tune in and know exactly what your healer archetype is. All you have to do is take the quiz. That's the first step. Okay. Once you take the quiz to that healer archetype, you'll know what your archetype is. It's going to bring up exactly what your strength is, and then what it may be blocking you. Okay. And just a little bit of what you want to, think about, right? As you move through. Then what I want you to do is, rather than setting up your one-on-one session immediately, you can set it up, but make sure before you set up your one-on-one session with me, go ahead and do the 60-minute Unlock Your Healer Archetype training. Okay, this is a 1-hour training where it helps you understand your quiz results and what they mean in your life, your health, your happiness. This is a training that will help you connect the dots to help you better understand what's holding you back from healing and shifting your life. And it takes the guesswork out. Okay, it makes things a lot easier for you so that you can start living your life again. And you feel like you're in control, you are in power. That is the main reason for this 1-hour training, because it is your gateway to receiving a complete transformation to your best self, where you will be able to identify your unique healing blueprint, break free from energetic blocks. We'll be doing some exercises in there, as well as reclaiming your strength and your well-being. And that's what I want for you. And then when you come to the one-on-one session, we can start clearing anything else, any other hidden barriers that are preventing you from true healing, right? There could be blocks in your subconscious pattern. They could be blocks in your karmic grid. There could be blocks in your financial grid. Whatever you're dealing with, we all have unresolved emotions. We all have, these parts of us that feel in pain and blocked. And I want to help you identify these things, these patterns, so that I can guide you through a customized energy clearing and healing practice and process, where you're going to experience a personalized reading, a deeper reading than what you have through the quiz, as well as the 1 hour video. And then you'll also get a deep energy scan and healing, where we're going to go through thoughts, feelings, emotions. A lot of times I love to work with other energy systems, especially the Hara, which plays a big role in your unique healer archetype. And then we're going to do some healing activations for your body's self-repair to reignite that quantum level healing and rewiring that can actually take place during the healing process. And then I'm going to give you some insights and next steps. And Monsef, I'm going to throw in there for anybody who takes advantage of this in the next 24 hours is a 15-minute follow-up for no additional cost. I will set that up after we are done with the one-on-one healing, and I'll set that up with the with everyone immediately after we do our one-on-one healing.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Thank you very much for offering that. Grateful to you. And
and if anybody has any questions about the special offer, then please let me know. If there's any questions about that, I'd love to answer that, as well as anything else.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dipal. For being available to our audience, offering your support and your time and services. So very grateful to you. And also everyone, I really recommend that you sign up for this program. And again, the link is yourdivineuniqueness.com/Dipal, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Dipal, DIPAL. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live events page, later on the replay page. The link also on YouTube video description and the chat boxes on Zoom and YouTube. Beautiful. So can we start taking questions?
Oh, I would love that.
So Renata, can you please unmute yourself? Renata?
And
okay.
Yes.
I heard that.
And you're more than welcome to share at this time. Like if you have a question about the program or what's going on, that I can kind of tune in and see where the blocks are,
First, I want to thank you both. Thank you very much. That's interesting information. As you, I'm in the healing process for a long time, but I feel very, very stuck. I still have all this chronic pain and fatigue and a lot of unclarity just with that little, quiz or that we did with you in the beginning. Like, felt like I'm all these three, archetypes, but at the same time, I really couldn't connect to any of them. And I feel like there are some deep blockages, that I'm really scared to heal, or I really don't understand. It's just a lot of confusion. And from there, it comes a lot of anger and being in the victimhood, and working on that. But again, I just feel so stuck. So whatever you can offer, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Renata, I mean, you're not the only one who feels this way. And a lot of my clients feel like they're the only ones that are like feeling like they're a mess. I went into the doctor's office going, I'm a mess, I always feel like that as well. I used to. And I understand that you're ready to heal. And what's blocking is like, there's a lot going on in your head, and this, there's a lot of congestion right here. And I could feel it. I mean, I could feel it back here as well. And I don't know if you get pain back here, like especially in the base of your neck, like in the base of your head, but I could feel the congestion there as well. Okay. And so the energy is not able to flow through properly, and we need to open up those channels, and what I like to do with you is really give you specific techniques that are right for your body. Because, a lot of times people will come to me and they're like, oh, I eat very healthy, and I'm like, well, what do you eat? And then they're like, oh, salads and smoothies, but that might not be right for your body. And I teach people about that because it's so important to add certain spices. And I know the Western world is new to spices because us in the Eastern world, we're like, okay, cloves, cardamom, cilantro. Like, I don't recommend celery juice to any of my clients. I recommend other juicing, like juicing your herbs, and to get the inflammation low in your body, because I could feel your body's inflamed. Do you ever feel hot? Like, do you feel like your hormones are off?
I'm mostly very cold. Once in
Okay.
a while, I'll get hot,
Okay.
especially when I work with energy on myself. I feel hot.
Yeah. Yeah. So right now I'm just feeling the heat, so I'm probably tuning into that. But the hormones feel a little imbalanced, but the inflammation in your body is pretty high. And I could feel it around the joints, And so what I do, Renata, is I go in intuitively and I can feel everything happening in your body,
Okay.
and I can tell you some of the stories that come up as we work together. So
Okay.
I work with a team of guides and archangels, as well as master angels, and I have my own guide team that supports me in the healing process. So knowing that you are divinely guided, and taken care of and in a safe space, I hope we get a chance to work together.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
Yeah. Thank you, Renata. And thank you, Dipal, for the guidance. And let's see. Jennifer, can you please unmute yourself?
Hi, Dipal.
Hi, Jennifer.
So my question is, I've been fighting the urge to be the nurturer, and I'm starting to have a lot of pains in the right side of my body, my head, my wrist, my shoulders. And I'm wondering, I feel like I'm going through a major change in my life and my person, I should say. My life changes have occurred already, but the person is trying to catch up. Is it possible we go from like being a nurturer to a warrior?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Jennifer, have we worked together before?
Yes, we have.
Okay. I feel like I recognize your voice. So yes, you can. You can shift. You don't live with a specific archetype. As you heal an archetype, you move to a different archetype, you know? And so that's when we work with that archetype. All right. So you're always going to have a specific archetype, right? It's like you've got this blueprint, and it's always there, but how is it balanced? That's what we want to look at, right? Is it balanced or is it off? Is one playing a bigger role in your life than everything else? And what's showing up for you is how that nurturer is kind of playing a big role where you're still struggling. And so it's showing up in your body, And so once we start tuning in a little bit more to that nurturer aspect, I think you're going to see a greater change. And it's almost like there's somebody in your life right now that is impacting your second chakra, which is creating the pain in the right side of your body.
Interesting. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's somebody in your life and I'm not saying that like you're, butting heads with them or anything. It's that, maybe you're playing a caregiver role, because we do that with our kids. We do that with our spouses. We do that with our parents, and that can play a huge role where you're not taking care of yourself, as much as you'd like to. Okay. And there's a journey that you're on. There's a spiritual journey and a healing journey, but your spiritual journey, like they're both kind of like, okay, which one do I do? Which way do I go? I'm trying to do this, but this one is not happening. You know what I mean? Does that make
Yes,
sense?
that sounds like what I've been through in the last few years. So yeah, and I have been taking care of my mom for years, off and on in multiple ways. So that could be the person that's pulling, because I definitely have like two voices in my head, one that I know I should follow and one I follow anyway.
Yep. And you know, a lot of times what happens is we're stuck in this energy for so long because we're not doing anything about it, you know, and you may be, but you may not have found the right thing to guide you, you know? And when I found out that this energy is here, the archetype is what we need to focus on, because too often we've been focusing on all these other things and people telling you that, oh, you're not broken. Well, I know that now. Like, I know, I've seen it, I've heard it. I mean, I keep getting emails saying you're not broken. I'm like, I know that, you know, but I'm telling you that it's your healer archetype that just needs some support and some love, and you know, you just need to be seen and heard. And when you're not having that, that plays a big role. Right? You get me, right? Like you feel it.
Yeah. Definitely.
So, yeah, I you know, and once you get the one-on-one healing, you know, you're gonna feel so much better. You're gonna feel so much clearer. And then, you know, we talk about like what's the next step, right? Because we're always trying to heal ourselves. And it's a good thing that we're working on ourselves. There's people who walk around life completely blind and asking, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? You know, and you know, right?
Yeah.
You know why it's happening to them. But you also know why it's happening to you. And now we're trying to reprogram our subconscious and reprogram our conscious. And that takes a little bit of work. So if you can, I highly recommend, you know, doing whatever you can for yourself. You know?
Thank you.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Yeah. Thank you, Jennifer. And thank you, Dipal. And let's see. Yeah, so Sue on the phone. Can you please unmute yourself?
Hi, Monisette. Hi, Dipal. Hi, my name is Sue. I know I have the nurturing architect along with the intuitive. And with having the strong nurturing architect part of me, I was a nurse, the caregiver, helped people through a lot of different stuff. Now I have to be on the receiving end of this and lost independence due to a physical condition. I am just having a real hard time of what's blocking me from having dependency on someone now, and allowing them to take care of me for a change. I'm really rebelling against it. It's actually causing me physical problems, but I don't know why I'm being triggered by this and what's blocking me.
Were you the older one? Like, are you the oldest child or the only
I was an
child?
old, yes.
You're the oldest, right? So you always had responsibility.
I'm an only child. I have no
only
siblings.
child. But did you take care of your parents? Like, did you, like, as a child, were you like taking care of mom?
In a way, with my mother, a lot of people used to say, you're more like the mother than your mother is, you. And that was always in me to just, as a child on, if I even saw a bird injured, I'd get and try to heal the bird. And that was who I was from little on up. Like I took care of my grandmother, and I was just the nurturer, and I loved it though.
Yeah.
You know, I loved taking
beautiful. Yes, you're so expanded, but you're so not used to having other people take care of you. You never allow it. You're not allowing it in because you feel guilty for allowing that in. And it's a part of you that it's like a blockage in your heart. And maybe you've been told, and your ancestors definitely believed that giving is better than receiving. And you're holding onto that energy so tightly in your heart. Okay. And I can feel the heart blocking. I'm not talking about the physical heart. I'm talking about the energetic hearts.
Right.
There's multiple energetic hearts that we have. So I work with 4 hearts. Okay. And so this
Okay.
is the type of thing we do on a one-on-one, and we could go deeper into that and start clearing that energy out so that you're able to receive. I mean, there are times in our life that we need to receive. And this is that time in your life where you should be open to receiving and release. And there's another part that's screaming out as well. And that is loss of control. Like you're trying to be in control of this situation, but you feel like you're losing control. Does that make sense to you?
Exactly, because with my physical condition now, I have no control over it right now, and that's just really not good.
Yeah.
Because I if something would happen with my husband, I need to have the physical problem corrected, or I don't know what's going to happen. And it's just a catch-22. And it's like, I guess I'm wondering why now at this stage of my life did this all of a sudden come about? Like, I know I'm supposed to be learning a lesson, but I just can't work through it for what, I know it's blockage and stuff, but I just cannot, as all the energy healing I've been doing, even on myself, I just cannot work through it. It's just like this big roadblock. And I'm like, what is the other piece of this that I am missing? And I feel like I'm missing a piece.
Right, of course. And so that's why I wanted to share this information of the healer archetypes. And we could go into this like for so long, but I'm telling you, there's this part of you that lost control as a child, and you felt very responsible for everyone else. You were born that way. Like you just brought that energy in from a past lifetime that you are responsible. It's almost like a contract. Okay. And so now your body is kind of saying, hey, it was too much. You let other people cross boundaries and you let them infiltrate into your energy. And now you're holding their energy. So we've got to do a lot of cleanup is what I'm saying.
Okay, that makes sense from the
Yeah.
past, because both my parents have passed, but it was more with my mother.
Yeah.
Not so much my father. She was more the control person.
Yeah.
And I always did everything to please everybody because I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the
Took the brunt of it.
Yeah, that's the
Well, thank you for bringing that up to me, because now it's like, just hit me in the head like, hey, this is part of it, which I was in denial about until you brought it up, and I had to actually face it.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing, though.
It is a great.
So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome.
Thank you. That's part of the problem. Thank you. Blessings to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you too, Monisette. It was very helpful today. And actually, I had another healing again, like always on your show. So thank you for all what you have done for me in the past year. Much appreciated, and blessings and lots of love to both of you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sue. Much love. And also thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dipal, for the guidance. And so thank you so much for everything you shared, the support you shared with our audience, and also the information you shared with us today about our different archetypes. So before we complete the call, would you like to share maybe any other message?
Yeah. Before we go, I want you to just put your hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. And I want you to close your eyes if you can. Picture a day when you wake up with clarity, feeling light, energized, and completely at peace. Picture a day when you trust yourself fully, knowing you are exactly where you're meant to be. Picture a day you no longer carry the weight of the past, and instead you move forward with joy, purpose, freedom, and healing. That day starts today. And I'm going to leave you with a quote from Carl Jung And he says, I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. And so I leave you with that. And I appreciate all of you being here. And thank you for letting me be part of your journey. And you spending this beautiful time, it means so much to me, and my heart opens up. And so thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dipal. Thank you so much, Dipal, for everything you shared. It was a really powerful call, very inspiring, really powerful energies. So I'm really happy that you could join us again today. So thank you for that. Also, thank you for the beautiful program that you are offering to us.
Thank you. I invite everyone to join us. It's going to be amazing, and it's going to be a journey to so much goodness. I mean, this is something that is just not talked about, Mansef, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see all the beautiful, inspirations and ambitions and the motivations and every healing that happens from this. So that is my intention for all of you.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So sweet.
It's just making me blush. I love it. I love these moments.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sue. Thank you for the energy. And thank you again, Dipal, for everything you shared with us today. And everyone, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for sharing with us your energies, your time, and co-creating with us this experience. That was really, really powerful. And again, you can sign up to the program that Dipal is offering to us on the page yourdivineuniqueness.com/Dipal, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Dipal, DIPAL. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live events page, later on the replay page. The link also on YouTube video description and the chat boxes on Zoom and YouTube. And the program is Activate Your Healer Archetype and Thrive. And it includes the What's Your Healer Archetype quiz, 25-minute Activate Your Healer Archetype and Thrive session, and 60 minutes Unlock Your Healer Archetype training. And so with that, everyone, I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you on the next call. Bye for now.